So if you'll excuse the fuzzy purple steering wheel cover, I want to talk a little bit about the recent article that came out where the director of the Game of Thrones Season 5 finale said that Stannis is dead. He's definitely dead. That was always the plan. And I believe the comment he made was that if you... that to show the actual death blow would have been gratuitous, so they cut away to preserve some kind of artistic intention there. But I'll tell you this, Stannis Baratheon is not dead. I feel strongly that his story arc, if it ends there, was pretty pointless. I mean, what did he really do except give Brienne of Tarth a way to avenge Renly? And what did Renly even really accomplish? Stannis needed to redeem himself for all the bad things he did by defeating the Boltons. Now, I know in the book, he is at Winterfell doing something with the Boltons. I haven't read that far into the book, but I know he's still alive. He's at Winterfell. I believe he's actually in close contact with Reek. If I'm incorrect, please leave me a comment. Let me know what is going on in the book with Stannis, but we all agree Jon Snow is not dead. I feel like the finale had too many fake outs, but Melisandre, the Red Woman, there's no reason that she shows up at the wall, one of the few people who can actually bring someone back. The Lord of Light has been shown many times to actually bring people back and resurrect people from death. I'm trying to think of the guy's name who came back like 6 times. I had it, and it just escaped me, but there's absolutely no reason that she would be there. There's no reason for her to be there except to bring Jon back. And if he comes back, his vow to the Night's Watch is only valid until death. So if he died and now he's back, then his watch is ended, and he can go to Winterfell, hopefully team up with Stannis, who I believe just lost his leg. I think Brienne just took off his leg because it was getting a little gangly. I really think that was the intention there. But I mean, we all agree that Jon Snow's not going to die. Jon and Dany are the two people that can't die until the very end, because they're the windows into the two biggest parts of the story. The Song of Ice and Fire. It's the ice at the wall, and fire, of course, being represented by the dragons. So that's my call. Stannis is alive. The director's faking us out. We all saw Jon Snow at some kind of a tennis match with still had his full head of hair. So even though he says he won't be back next season, maybe it's like they did with Bran, where Bran wasn't in season 5 at all, and now he's going to be back in season 6. As soon as I saw the finale, I thought about doing a video called "In Defense of Stannis Baratheon." Because I sometimes feel like Stannis, he gets kind of a bad rap. We're looking at someone who had these options. If he does not submit to the Lord of Light and ask Melisandre for help, he knows the chances that his army stands, if they can even mobilize. They're most likely going to freeze to death. And Shireen as well is going to starve and freeze in the storm. But he's seen before at the Battle of Blackwater that not trusting Melisandre doesn't work out very well either. Trying to win just by force of arms, it's not a winning proposition. So his options are let his daughter freeze to death and starve, or trust the Lord of Light, who he believes is the one true God. And you may say this really does look like a cult, but let's look at what the Starks believe. I mean, they worship a crying tree. They worship the heart trees, and they cry blood, and they have faces carved into them. I know if Stannis is going to be, which he is, the rightful king of Westeros, he is the king of the Seven Kingdoms, the Andals, and the First Men, and all that. And as the rightful king, he has to do what's right for his people. He has to do what's right for his subjects and to defend them. So I think, freezing to death and starving and watching your daughter slowly freeze to death is not an option at all. So he's going to trust the only God that he believes in, the Lord of Light. Would I have it in me to hurt one of my own kids? I mean, anybody who watches the channel knows I've got 3 little girls, and I would never do that. But then again, I'm not a king, am I? I'm not the one true king of Westeros. So while in the end Stannis could very easily be painted as a villain, I really feel like he did the only thing that he could do. He was backed into a corner, and the other option for poor Shireen was to be captured by the Boltons. And do you really want, do you want her to suffer and freeze to death? Do you want her to be sacrificed to, again, the Lord of Light, or do you want Ramsay Bolton to get his hands on her? I mean, I don't know that that is an option that, you know, as a father, I feel like I would do whatever I could to avoid that third one. So I can definitely see where he was coming from. Can't be captured by the Boltons, not going to let her starve to death, so I'm going to give my only hope, I'm going to give you know, whatever I have left to God, as far as he sees it, to save his men, to save his kingdom, and to save his claim to be the one true king. So if you look at Stannis as redeemable in that way, I think his story's not over. So I think that if again, in the books, he's not dead, so if in the show, if they kill him here, I think it's a waste of a good character. I think he had more to do. I think he had more to learn. I think he learned in the very end what was really important and what mistakes he had made, and I think, you know, again, he has the only right to rule. Dany can come back and take her throne by force of arms, but Stannis is, by law, the one true king. So, looking forward to Season 6. Let me know in the comments what you think. Is Stannis alive? What do you think about Jon Snow? What are your hopes for Season 6? Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. We'll see you next time.